traded my living for wanderer's woes. Feet on the earth, head in the clouds, I walk the world alone. Long have I traveled across these lands. Long is the journey that never ends. Back home there are farmers and blacksmiths galore, but out in the world I can be so much more. I've met mages and fae, I've met soldiers at war, and set eyes upon distant shores. Long have I traveled across these lands. Long is the journey that never ends. Some say that I'm foolish, some say that I'm bold, to brave the dark forests, wild beasts and the cold. But I choose to roam in ruins of old and sing of their stories untold. Long have I traveled across these lands. Long is the journey that never ends. My journey shall never end. I live the life of the mercenary. I live by blade and shield alone. I do not settle, love nor marry, lest I leave a widow alone. I'll trek across the land, seeking the jobs for helping hands. If any need a battle to be won, and when I'm given one, I don't rest until it's done. Oh, me, my sword, and my mercenary band. We live the life of the mercenary. Restitution is our creed. We seek the thrill, gold and glory. It's the only life we need. We trek across the land, seeking the jobs for helping hands. If any need a battle to be won, when we're given one, we don't rest until it's done. Oh, be my sword and my mercenary band. I live the life of the mercenary. I court death near every day. I take me, but let me ride once more this day. I trek across the land, seeking the jobs for helping hands. If any need a battle to be won, and when I'm given one, I don't rest until it's done. Oh, me, my sword and my mercenary band. We trek across the land, seeking the jobs for helping hands. If any need a battle to be won, and when we're given one, we don't rest until it's done. Oh, me, my soul, and my mercenary band. I've made a home of the winding road, traded my living for wanderer's woes. Feet on the earth, head in the clouds, I walk the world alone. Long have I traveled across these lands. Long is the journey that never ends. Back home there are farmers and blacksmiths galore, but out in the world I can be so much more. I've met mages and fae, I've met soldiers at war, and set eyes upon distant shores. Long have I traveled across these lands. Long is the journey that never ends. Some say that I'm foolish, some say that I'm bold, to brave the dark forests, wild beasts, and the cold. But I choose to roam in ruins of old, and sing of their stories untold. Long have I traveled across these lands. Long is the journey that never ends. My journey shall never end. I live the life of the mercenary. I live by blade and shield alone. I do not settle, love nor marry, lest I leave a widow alone. I trek across the land, seeking the jobs for helping hands. If any need a battle to be won, and when I'm given one, I don't rest until it's done. Oh, me, my sword and my mercy. We seek the thrill. Gold and glory. And it's the only life we need. We trek across the land, seeking the jobs for helping hands. If any need a battle to be won, when we're given one, we don't rest until it's done. Oh, be my sword and my mercenary band.
Boy, you look adorable.
We came in today.
Okay, welcome back to episode 15 of the Stormcaller's Fury. Yes, I used the wrong transition again. It's just going to become a running joke because I can't get my shit in order. Last we left off, you guys headed back to the temple, only to be informed that one blooming flower wouldn't be enough to cure 2 people. There was a little bit of a tension between the group as Pipkin ran away. Nim struggled to come to terms with taking it over Pipkin, but eventually we concluded that Nim took the potion ritual, was cured, and Pipkin unfortunately is still infected. You were told a slew, as it were, of different people would potentially be able to cure her, being that they would have to be beings of incredible power. And some of those mentioned were, of course, celestials, jinn, major, I almost said magicians, mages of discernible repute, and druid, if they're strong enough. Following that, you guys left a couple of days and came upon a dwarven man in the woods. Decided that you were going to fight said man after killing some of his wargs.
In my defense, I just sent a message saying don't send any more, pretty much.
Like how we didn't have to point out that it was you.
Yes. I wasn't going to say it, but yes. Kalinthar decided to threaten him, and we started off with a chase. Pipkin, maybe out of knowing that her mortality is less than the group, decided to try and distract the pack of wargs and ran off in a direction to be chased by Kalinthar and Persephone on horseback, but managed to evade them as well as the wargs and disappeared off into the forest. The rest of you gathered, continuing on the present course that you had been holding. We pick up a couple of days after that. The nights have been restless. Sleep is a luxury you can barely afford, stolen in fleeting moments between very long, watchful vigils. Because you guys are a group, you will not suffer any exhaustion. You can benefit from a long rest.
Cool.
The fire burns low, its embers crackling beneath the wide spanning shadows of what now dominates this space, being the beginnings of the Hail-Faller Peaks. Towering and jagged, the mountains loom like ancient sentinels against the night sky. Your camps are always modest, tucked between rocky overhang or trees, and the horses tethered nearby, snorting nervously at every distant howl that echoes across the valley. The first night is uneventful, save for the distant crackling of wargs off in the distance. Their guttural snarls on the wind chill your blood and knot your gut with primal unease. It's enough for each of you to keep your hands close to your weapons or ready magic in the air. Shifts are taken in turns, each member of your party cycling through, weary eyes scanning the tree line, searching for flickers of movement, the flash of eye shine, or the shimmer of steel. But the days passed, and you follow along most of the road, tending to often veer off and stay parallel. Hopeful that you will see some civilization. Our perspective drifts, carried on the wind, to a lone figure perched high in the boughs of frostbitten cedar. Pipkin. Breathless but steady, clings to the branch with nimble fingers, her eyes as sharp as flint. You have run the wargs ragged the first night, their snarling jaws snapping just inches from your angles as you darted through the underbrush. Deciding to double back more times than you can count, weaving your tracks, masking your scent as best you could. You did figure out wargs weren't especially good climbers. Their hulking, hunched frames couldn't purchase on the higher limbs, though they didn't stop them from leaping, jaws clamping inches below your heels. But here, high above the forest floor, you are watching, waiting. The second night finds you braver, confidence hardening the edges of your caution. You've creeped ever so slightly closer, flitting between shadow and snow, until the flicker of torchlight catches your eye. Campfires. More than one, and potentially not the one you were looking for. From your vantage point, the glow is muted, flaring and ebbing with the wind. A camp sprawls beneath the jagged outcropping of the beginning of a mountain pass. The height in the trees means you're parallel. They've clustered their fires in iron-banded braziers, each casting long shadows against the rough-hewn tents of canvas and hide. You can see a couple of dwarves, their armor dented and battle-worn, crimson sashes slung across their shoulders. Brass brooches pinned at their necks gleam in the firelight of young dragons, wings spread and more open, encircling a rising flame. One in particular catches your eye. The same large, thickly bearded dwarf. His arms are as thick as your waist, and he spits into the fire, sending a spray of embers into the night air. His voice is gravelly, thick, with an accent that rumbles through his chest, and I will probably do it disservice. "Don't matter if a few don't make it," he growls, wiping soot from his knuckles. "Ain't the bodies we paid for. Just the heads counted. Brass worms got the whole stretch of the Hailfaller Peaks under their thumb. King's men are too busy playing with their new toys in the capital to even blink our way." A half-orc, sharpening a jagged blade, snorts, his hands methodical and deliberate. "What about the ones from Firenze? I thought they were sending another batch last week." The dwarf waves him off, tapping his pipe against the edge of a crate. "They're moving up the passes soon, holding from the south too. Can't keep 'em all cooped up forever. Mines need fresh hands. Besides, ain't like they're going anywhere. Deep enough in the mountains no one ever finds 'em. Not with the passes watched and those big bastards patrolling." He nods to his wargs. Can I have a perception check from you, please?
You can. Wow, that's a 3. I'll check my plus, but I don't think it'll matter.
Okay.
A +2, a 5.
The wind catches some of their conversation. You catch just briefly the words of an elven woman. She mentions king's men and building something. The dwarf is closer, and he laughs a harsh barking sound, telling them to let them build. We've got tunnels older than our granddaddies buried up in the peaks. And the rest is caught away. You fail to notice as a warg shifts, its head lifting to sniff the air, and you catch it then, eye to eye, as it notices that you're there. What would you like to do?
Right. I would like to try and hop to a different tree in an attempt to ultimately hide, but first
Okay.
I would have to move.
Okay, make me an acrobatics or athletics check. Let's see if you can get yourself over there.
A dirty 20.
Oh. Describe to me, in whatever elaborate way, Pipkin changes tree line.
They were pine, did you say?
Yes, they're cedar.
Cedar. They have these very, very thin but almost perfectly horizontal, radiant branches. So, being as small and as light as she is, she will run over them like a cat and jump to the nearest one. She will grab onto one, what is it called? I don't know. Be in pain a little bit because the needles are really fucking painful if you grab a branch onto.
Mm-hmm.
Nearly slip and then catch onto the big tree trunk after climbing through the smaller branches. And there I will try to go as far as I need to until I think it is safe to go and hide again from sight.
Okay. Make me another perception check. And I will also do this.
It's a nat 20.
You
For
notice,
22.
Yeah. You notice that it seems to growl another one, and they both stand for a minute. You know that there's no time for rest as they begin to drop down the mountain pass, softly sniffing the grass. You can tell that they're following a brief scent as the wind has changed, and you are now upwind. Knowing that, I would say you have enough common sense that you need to get quite far away. And as you're doing that, you catch in the distance the soft rising smoke of civilization. The choice for you is, do you want to follow the dwarves or go to the civilization?
What do I see about the civilization? Just the smoke?
So you can see a couple of drifting smoke lines. You've spent enough time amidst small towns to know that it's probably coming from a chimney breast, because there's a very distinct plume rather than a campfire.
Right. Well, shit. I genuinely don't know. I think they're too hot on my tail. I think I would decide to go to civilization, to lay low for a little bit, and hope I don't lose track of them forever.
That's fine. It takes you another rough day of climbing and running and hiding, so you will only suffer 1 point of exhaustion rather than 3. You do, however, I would say with your dirty 20 or whatever it was for your perception, as you're about to leave, hear them mention once again something that you know above table. A distinct number of names of towns, and one of them being yours. So I'll leave that with you. The town sprawls before you for Persephone's group. As you crest the final hill, its edges dotted with rough-hewn log fences and wide patches of freshly felled trees. The scent of pine and sawdust drifts on the breeze, mingling with a sharp tang of sap and the distant smoke of chimneys. This is a lumber milling town. You recognize that immediately. All of you. The sheer volume of logs stacked in neat rows, stripped of bark and ready for transport. Alongside the sawmills, you catch sight of long rows of stone kilns, chimneys churning with plumes of ash. Brick making, maybe. It would make sense. You can see wooden storefronts line the main road, their signs swinging gently in the breeze. Smithy and Farrier, Ivory Quill Bookshop, the Rusted Hatchet. Judging from the ironworks displays out front, you believe maybe the Rusted Hatchet is some sort of blacksmiths. Most probably specializing in axes, or maybe even horseshoes. Can you nominate someone to make a perception check as your group is entering into the town?
Perception's probably the best out last one.
Okay.
I have advantage, but I have a +0, so.
I have +4. But I mean, do you want me to, or do you want to do it with your advantage?
I don't know. I don't know which is better.
Look for it. Where's my coin?
You know what? Persephone, you do it. You do it. I feel like I'm gonna roll really low. I just have that feeling.
18.
Wonderful.
I rolled a 14.
You
So.
spot a small smattering of groups of people. Armor's mismatched, but they're all wearing a crimson sash or an armband of silk or a scarf or tied around their waist. Some you can see a bronze brooch of a dragon flying.
Just. Okay. Seth won't say anything. She'll just sort of nudge her elbow into Keenan and sort of nudge him and nod in their direction, just to make sure that he's aware of them too. But she won't say anything.
Okay.
Okay.
That is terrible. You see a couple of them laugh quite loudly. They slap their shoulders and they toss a couple of coppers at some kids that are running errands. The presence is very thick, almost suffocating. Although they seem to walk in pairs or trios, they are everywhere, like wolves prowling around a campsite. You catch sight the way townsfolk flinch when they pass. Conversations hush, eyes turn downwards. It's definitely not respect, it's definitely fear.
Shit. Sorry. I wasn't aimed at you guys. So sorry.
You dismount from the horses, muscles protesting as you swing off the saddle. Though you are fully rested, it aches a lot. And the stable boy, a wiry human no older than 15, takes all of the reins, sort of looking at the slew of ponies that you have.
Can Seth be a little reluctant to let Jim go?
Absolutely.
She still doesn't say anything. She's just sort of holding onto his reins a little bit tighter.
Sorry, miss, you can't take him into the inn. I can look after him if you want.
Sort of gives him this this look of distrust. And then it instantly shifts to something a little bit more sinister, like a threat in her eyes. And then she slowly releases Jim's reins.
We can
takes him.
command the villager for a second.
At that point, Keenan will step in and kind of like gently move Persephone out the way, and palm the stable boy 5 silver. And just say, that's for taking good care of our mounts, and another good tip for you when we return.
Okay. His hands work very quickly with a lot of haste, and he leads the mounts to the stalls. You can see he even begins like picking up a brush and brushing Jim down first, offering them each some fresh water. Next to it is the inn just off the main road. It's called the Wonky Tap Room, because I like the name. Made of very thick timber, which would be well suited to this town. They have windows, they glaze very grime streaked with like a soft coating of ash everywhere. And you can see a lot of candlelight within. As you step in, boots are very heavy with mud, and the weight of very restless travel, and the door swings shut behind you. The interior is very warm, lit by iron sconces and a low burning hearth. More thick wooden beams stretch above you, hung with bundles of different dried herbs and garlands of pine. Smells of ale, roasting meat, a lot of wood smoke. And you can see tables are scattered throughout, occupied mostly by some townsfolk and a couple of mercenaries. A lot of rough-spun, heavy-handed laughter, mirth, things like that. They do eye you all as you pass, just murmuring to each other before they rise back to drunken chatter.
Is there a stage or performance space in this tavern?
No, it doesn't appear that there would be.
Okay. In that case, then Keenan will just pull out his lute and kind of like wander between tables, performing bard songs, like stories, news from other towns.
Okay. Make me a perception check as you're doing that.
Absolutely. That is a 12.
Ooh, okay. 12. You hear one conversation. They're talking about moving another lot. I thought they were still patching up the last load. Things like that. I would say you wouldn't have obviously above table you do have the context, but at the moment you would guess would, maybe.
And while he's doing that, can he try and pick up what the name of this village is from people's chatter?
Yes,
I know it would be hard to do.
Yes, it's called Firenze. Like the place in Italy.
Lovely.
Which is Florence, if anyone doesn't know that.
Yeah, I do.
I
do
know.
everything.
Place is
I
You love Italy.
The rest of you find a table in the back. There's a lot of scarred knives and tankards etched into the wood. It's been used a lot. And as you will slump into the seats, it's a lot of heavy eyelids and the weight of those very long days on the road. Been very long since a warm bed, very long since a hot meal, and too long since the fear of being followed didn't haunt you. And you watch as a waitress approaches. She's young, hair tied back with twine, sleeves rolled up. She's freckled and a couple of faint scars. She asks you what you would like to order.
Oh no.
Hello. We lost you for a minute.
You
Yeah.
froze.
Mm-hmm.
At dawn, and I'm like, it's been a. I can read. We've had a long rest. We can do that now. But it won't let me unfucking lock it, and I don't know if I'm being stupid and doing something I should be doing.
I think if you click the item, it has like a roll button normally. But
Yeah. Are you using the internet interface or web or app interface on your phone?
Internet.
Okay. So if you go to your inventory page
Uh-huh.
and click on the item, because it may be in the description where you can mark it on and off.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, but it's just not working. Oh no, it worked. What happened? Sorry. I don't know what
Magic.
just happened. It just was not
Magic.
working, and then I did it that time. And I was trying for so long. So sorry. Thank you. I look like an idiot.
Sorry about
That's
that.
fine.
I believe my internet's doing it again, but this time I prepared.
he's got a hotspot.
I have a very strong hotspot.
We know that, but what are you going to do about your internet?
That was a good one. I like that one.
Oh my god.
But yes, a waitress approaches you. She's very young. Her hair's tied back with twine, and her sleeves are rolled up, and has very freckled arms and some couple of faint scars.
Cute. I hate her.
What?
She's cute.
Cute? Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah.
And
Stop being
she's
so
like,
cute.
"Will it be then? What can I get you?"
Seth deliberately remains silent. Doesn't say anything. Just
I guess
to everyone else.
a pint of ale each. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
whatever is you'd recommend for food, like whatever your chef's specialty is, shall we say?
We've got some lamb stew that's still warm, and some fresh bread out of the oven.
Yep.
That
Oh, yeah,
sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Ideal.
sounds amazing.
Okay. And she just wanders off.
I have some stuff I want to kind of tell you guys about. I don't know how it's gonna affect me, but when I was talking to Sonara, she mentioned that because the Guardian doesn't have she doesn't have a person, an avatar in this world, that she's gonna have less and less influence on our realm, and I don't know if that's gonna make me weaker, or I don't know. I take a lot of strength from her, and I don't want, if it does start to affect me, I don't want you guys to not know that it might happen. Unfortunately, we got cut off by the war, so I couldn't really ask Sonara a whole lot, but these last few days have been really rough, and I don't want us to be all exhausted and potentially not at top form, and that maybe I'm not at top form. I just, after all of these days and how exhausted we've been, I don't want to leave you guys in the dark.
At
No,
that point, Keenan will drop in onto the table, having done a set with some floofy drink, and go, "Is she offering you a new job as a guardian here?
Well,
Has her new avatar?"
there's a few people who are up for the job, but none of us have really, I guess, been chosen yet. I don't really know how it works. I think we have to almost like prove ourselves. And it's no one's proved themselves exactly yet, so definitely not my job right now, but hopefully I will be able to prove myself, or one of those people will. Like, if they're ready sooner, then fine. But yeah, I
Seth
don't.
is gonna like interrupt her when she says like, "Oh, there's other people." She's just gonna sort of mumble very like weakly under her breath and say, "Well, you're God touched."
I mean, I guess I am. But maybe they are to you. I don't really know much about this. Like I say, I didn't really get much chance to talk to her, and I haven't been able to get to that realm again. I think I've just been too distracted with this whole like running for our lives thing. So yeah, I just wanted to.
Just a quick above table following that. When I helped Nim with the whole connecting with Snarl, would I have overheard any of it, or was I too far away?
Oh yeah, no, you heard all of it.
Okay, at that point I'll step in and say, Sonara did kind of imply that you're approaching being ready for this. I know it's a lot, but it seems like we can't escape our fate. Let's be fair. We've been told we'd got touched. Seems to be our problem to fix everything at the minute. Don't know how that happened.
As you say that, Seth's gonna mumble again, "Fuck fate."
Interesting.
Why do you think she's doing that?
I didn't realize you could hear. I mean, I'm glad you.
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to overstep.
No. Honestly, it's good to have another perspective on what she said. Obviously, I just kind of panicked, but I do that. So, but
I get where you're coming from on that. Seeing the mentor again made me realize that I've still got a lot to learn. So I understand where you're coming from. But from what we've experienced the last couple of weeks, couple of months, I think it's coming to the point where we're going to have to push past the things that we think we can't do. We might fail, we might fall, but we can at least try.
We can. That's all we can do.
But first we drink.
Indeed.
To get in here alive and relatively safely.
Yeah.
As you say that, Keller's just going to look into his cup and just like awkwardly look at everyone because he knows it's his fault we got chased.
The afternoon sun is beginning to slant low, and the door creaks open rather sharply, banging against the other side of the wall. Sunlight spills in, long and golden, stretching across the warped floorboards. A soft hush settles as everyone looks. As a small figure steps inside, dusted in grime, leaves, pieces of brush. Pipkin, you have found this town, and your first thought being, I need a drink, have gone to the tavern.
You just hear Nimmy out, like, go, oh, thank fuck, like, really too loudly.
I step inside, kind of out of breath, like consistently. Like Hayne said, twigs in my hair, just a mess. And I spot you guys, and it takes a while for my face to reflect what I'm thinking. It's kind of like, it's a bit slow, and I'm just looking tired. And then after what is too long, my face lights up and I'm like, oh my god. Thank the Lord. Gods. wrong world. And I run over. I can't believe I found you guys. How did you, are you right? Do you,
Set. We need to get another round. Persephone, will you help me? And I'm gonna go to the bar.
Steph just stands up and trods along, still not saying anything.
And I'm gonna approach whoever's behind the bar, order a round of drinks for everybody, another floofy one for Keenan, and inquire about rooms to stay in.
Yeah, the innkeeper's a very large, massively wide man. He's
Oh,
human, long beard.
Right.
He happily refills your drinks. Happy to have new customers. And yes, you can. There's enough rooms to suit all of you.
And how much is that going to set me back, kind sir?
So it's 1 silver each per room.
Steph is gonna take out the kitty bag of coins that they have, for the whole group, and she's gonna take out the money from that.
Okay.
To pay for the rooms. Six? Kozar can share with someone. No, she'll get 7. She'll get 1 for Kozar too. She'll be like, I know they'll wanna put him in my room, so she'll do 7. She'll get 1 for him too.
Do you have any adjoining rooms? With like a connecting door.
No, that would be really weird.
Some taverns offer it as a service. I just think
Well,
there's a couple in our party that like me.
Whatever you're into, please try and keep it per room.
Fair enough.
Steph just shakes her
head. And then Keenan's gonna gather up 4 drinks in his hand, nod to Steph to pick up the other 3 to deliver back to the table.
Okay, yeah, she'll plod along, holding the drinks. She's going like super slow because she really doesn't want to spill them. She's not very coordinated.
Incidentally, big man, if anyone is looking for company or services, they can certainly inquire of me, but I don't think anyone else would be interested. And not to be indelicate, but my rates are quite high.
Noted, young man.
Obviously, discounts for the proprietor of the place. And then he winks and carries on walking.
The pimp is on undercover boss this week, it is. Anyway, so carry on.
As you guys are walking back, Seth is also using her tail to try and balance the 3 cups in her hand. She's like trying not to spill anything, and she's like wrapping her tail around them in her arms. She doesn't drop them.
I'd say that while those 2 were getting drinks, Nim would have like turned to Pipkin and be like, "How are you? Are you okay? Like, did you manage to like stay safe?"
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just really, really tired. I managed to track the dwarf for quite a bit, and they're trouble. I have to go to Greenhill because it's in trouble. It's in danger. I don't know how long I'll be here. I don't know where you're headed. I would obviously not. I would never ask such a dangerous endeavor of you.
How far is Greenhill?
Do I know how far it is? Do I know where I am?
You have enough context clues to know that you are right next to the Hailfaller Peaks, which would mean that it's about, as the crow flies, or as the Kenku wanders.
Amazing.
Thank you. 10, 20. It's about a month it would take you to get back there. If you went through the peaks, then it would take you considerably less time.
I relay that info.
I don't mean to be like blunt, but you don't have a month.
I have to try.
We have, like, there's so many people that can heal you. Like, I found out that a djinn can heal you. Maybe who can heal you? A druid. Like, there's a few we can try. We have to try something so you can at least get there. You're gonna die on the way, and that's not gonna help anyone.
Like, I can't leave them like that. I don't
No, I'm not saying we don't go. I'm saying we make sure you can get there first.
I'm just worried that we won't be on time, neither for me or for them.
I know.
Well,
It's
I
gonna
don't
be...
think anyone is in any state to immediately move on right now. We need to regroup regardless. What exactly is happening there?
I'm not sure. All I know is that I left it a mess, and I need to fix it.
Above table, Lycane,
Mm-hmm.
is Greenhill and or Forensia on the list of villages that we came across, you know, when we found the people that were polluting the river with the rot?
No.
Okay. We need to clear our heads and come up with a strategy. There are a lot of moving parts that we need to deal with, a lot of villages in trouble, a lot of things to be doing, like healing people if they want to be healed.
Sorry. That was petty as hell. It made me chuckle.
So I think we spend at least a day here planning our next moves. 8 hours, 24 hours isn't going to make any difference anywhere. I understand people's concerns, but we need to come up with a plan.
We do.
Just quickly, what was the name of that town again?
Maze fucking 5 HP.
Say that again, Ben.
That one.
What was
Sorry.
what was the name of that town? Where it comes from?
Greenhill.
Green Hill.
Green.
Pipkin's going to take another drink and get off her tits.
Nice.
Fair play.
Sorry again. It's very loud.
So,
Yeah, you have food, you have drink, and you have beds for the night. It is mid-afternoon, turning to night. If anyone else wants to do anything before you turn in, let me know.
I actually think Seth will be the first to turn in. I think she'll, once she's finished her first drink, she'll like pick it up, go put it on the bar, and then she'll just disappear upstairs.
Okay.
I don't.
Keenan will keep the conversation going as people are ready to go up, leave whatever. He'll just keep talking to everyone. And go, what's up with we need to work out what's up with the brass worm stuff that's going on, and this town seems to be kind of like under occupation where we're at now. There's a lot for us all to be thinking about.
Yeah. I think Nim would be one of the last to go up. Like, she's trying to put on a brave face and, yeah, be like kind of she's almost trying to like emulate Keenan's like everything, like being quite stoic, but she's not the best at it yet. But she's gonna like try and stay up and like stay involved in the conversation.
Keenan will kind of at some point in the evening kind of like turn to her and say, so do you think now we've got a chance to catch our breath, you'll try and reach out to Sonara and the Guardian again this
Yeah.
evening when you sleep?
I think so. I have so many things that I want to ask her. Like, she's just, and like Nim really struggles to say this, but she's like like my idol, and I can ask her questions. Like, how cool is that? But yeah, I think I don't want to bother her now that she's peaceful and living retirement essentially. Like, oh, I don't know, honestly. Like, yes, I think I will try and talk to her.
Do you want help with that again, Nim, or do you think you got it this time?
I think I've got it. I'll try myself tonight, and then if I can't, then maybe tomorrow you could help.
Yeah, sure thing. I'll
Thank you.
wander out of the tavern, just have a look around to see what sort of ingredients or shops that might be of interest whilst we're here. Just have a little wander around town, see if I can maybe hear a bit of gossip of what's going on around here. See if there's anything worth of note, so like an hour or two, and then head back to the tavern.
Okay. Make me
Before
an
returning.
investigation check.
Ooh, that's an 11.
Not any more shops than you noticed before. So there's a bookshop. There's a smithy, a farrier. You're guessing, and just a normal general store. In terms of things you see, just a lot of warehouses. Most of the mercenaries seem to linger around those. Aside from that, not much else in terms of things you over here.
Okay. Is the bookshop open still, or is it shut?
No, it's evening right now, so it's
Evening.
shut.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make a note just to maybe have a pop in there before we leave, just to see if there's anything of interest, and then head back to bed.
Every so often during the evening, a different what's the name of it? Glass mug thing appears in front of Pipkin. Doesn't contain ale, but it will contain some spirits of some sort with mixer. And if Pipkin's paying attention, it will be because Keenan's pouring his drink into that flagon, is the word I was looking for, every so often.
Okay. Good to know.
And then, as people start to disperse as well, Keenan will try and have a conversation with Pipkin as well when she's been plied with enough drinks, and just kind of go. So not to be blunt, but what was up with that? Like leaving us?
What do you mean? We needed to get out, and they were going to follow you. So I had to make a distraction.
There's okay. I that thought process is making more sense, but you do realize that we stick together and things like that. We would have got away. We would have been all right as long as we stick together.
I'm not sure about that, actually. I'm fast as hell. I'm here, right? And you guys are safe. It made sense to Keenan, listen, because I'm so small, everybody always worries about me.
Oh no! Don't get me wrong. Yes, I am worried about you, but I'm also worried about the rest of us. What would have happened if they'd split up or we got ambushed, and we could have used you there to help us in a fight like that? You're part of the team.
Pipkin starts full on sobbing. I'm just trying to do the best I can, all right?
I know.
I thought this was the right choice. I thought this was the right call. I'm just trying so hard to be a good guard. I messed up in my town. I can't protect who. And now I can't protect you guys. And
You can't protect us if you're not around. Now, this is not me saying you had to make a decision in the moment, and this is not me saying that you made the wrong decision. You did what you did on the information that you had at the time. This is me giving you more information that we need to stay together. That's how you protect us. That's how you be a good guard.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just, look, I'm giving you more information. And he just pours more drink into the flagon.
Are you guys still at the table?
Yeah.
Okay, Zephyr hasn't left at all during this, so Zephyr's also there. And Zephyr's like watching, and is getting what's the word I'm looking for? Like sympathetic, like crying as well.
Yeah.
So Zephyr's also started crying, just like in the corner, but like trying to do it quietly.
And again, Pipkin, I'm not saying this to upset you, but I think one of the reasons he wanted you to come with us is so that you could learn about this and like working as a team in this way. So take it as that. This is part of that development. Nim's got her interview coming up. This is your career development.
Yeah, okay. I guess. I want another drink.
Somehow, like a drink appears from like someone walking past, whatever, in one hand of Keenan. He just again pours it into the flagon to just keep plying Pipkin with it.
I'm not sure if I want to be a guard anymore.
And that. Yeah, keep going.
No, it's fine. I never should have left my stupid parents. I never should have gone out. I never should have spat in his face. Oh my god, why did I do that? And now they're going to die, and now I'm going to die, and now everyone's going to die.
Wow. Keenan is going to stage whisper to Zephyr. Really thought she could handle a drink better than this.
don't think it's the most-
Zephyr whispers back. She's only small.
That's fine. We're still like you're still young. You can decide what to do with the rest of life. This is a learning experience for you. And that's the spirit it is being delivered in. Yeah, and I hope you take it within that spirit. And you will need to call me out sometimes. You will need to call Nim out sometimes, and Zephyr out sometimes for doing things. It just means we have different perspectives. Now shut up and have another drink. He kind of like shoulder bumps her.
As she takes another drink, like happily, down it. She might puke. She'll probably puke, if I'm honest.
I'll leave that down to you.
Keenan's aim at this point is to get her like punch drunk so she passes out.
Oh, you'll be able to. No problem.
So the night draws in. You all, some of you more than most, very inebriated. You turn in to your respective rooms. Kozar is forced to carry Pipkin. And can I have a perception check from Kalanthar and Zephyr? And
16.
Ooh.
Perception.
Perception.
13.
Okay.
13.
Kalanthar, you don't dream that much. Which means you are similar to the elves in that you are semi-conscious when you're sleeping. You are woken in the early hours of the morning by flickering firelight, clinking of metal, hushed voices, and the soft shuffling of feet. Moving to the window, you watch a procession of people who are led to the warehouses in chains. You see the dwarf and his wargs, as well as the numerous numbers of mercenaries. As the dawn light begins to break, they shut the warehouse doors, lock everything up, and go about their day as if nothing's happened. And we awaken the next morning. Pipkin, you do get your long rest. Very well deserved long rest. Little bit of a headache. Just a touch. As you all, I assume, exit your rooms and arrange yourselves downstairs, who is the first out, do you think?
Well, not
as
Pipkin.
we're as we're like waking each other up, I'll be like tapping on everyone's doors and just try to pull them aside before we go downstairs,
I
just
think-
to tell them what I saw.
I think
Seth would have
Keenan would
already
want to
been
speak to.
downstairs. Seth
See,
would have, 'cause she went
Keenan's going to
bed
try and get
before
hold of
everyone else.
Seth before everyone else.
Hold on.
So-
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Hold on. The elves don't sleep as much as the rest of you, so they will be awake first.
Yeah, no,
That's-
I mean, like, not necessarily like out of their rooms, but awake. But she would have tried to be the first one downstairs.
Okay.
Cool.
You stumble over Kozar's legs, who has fallen asleep outside your door.
Oh, well, that didn't work. So what's
Um,
for trying to sneak out?
He looks like he has a dagger in hand, but has fallen asleep, almost standing up, and then has fallen on the floor. And it wakes up
she'll
as you
nudge him
knock
awake.
in.
Yeah, she'll like just sort of take his arm without saying anything and just sort of drag him downstairs. And once she's downstairs, she'll just go sit in a corner somewhere with him, wait for the others.
As all of you come downstairs, the waitress from the night before, you can see she's a little bleary-eyed, but she begins passing out complimentary porridge for all of you, or oats, or whatever you want to call it. It's porridge. It's
Whatever you want to call it, but this is what it's
whatever
called.
it is porridge. Oats is porridge. It's the same thing. And so, whoever is next, you will find Persephone, and so on and so on.
It'll be me or Zephyr then, I think, next.
Mhm.
If it's me, I will head right over to join Persephone and Koza. Again, just kind of like, again, do the shoulder one thing. Like, you alright?
Mhm.
And then he's going to do it again. You really alright?
It's all sunshines and rainbows this end.
Yeah, I can tell you're not normally this much of a morning person and embracing the sunrise and things. But
I went to bed early.
you did indeed. And I'm going to make your morning even better. I have a present for you.
Fantastic. Oh god.
A
Just
good present.
rubbing her temple already. Like I don't.
So
The idea of a present makes her stressed.
I don't know if you noticed when, and not to bring up bad memories, but when we had a fight with that Eladrin guy, he handed me something. So I don't have use of. I don't need this anymore. And like, there's a folded package in like brown paper of material. But I find it's good for like sneaking and things, and maybe you could make some use of it because you're not the sneakiest of people. Sorry, purple stands out.
Okay. She sort of starts to unwrap it, but she feels super anxious about it. You can see like her hands are like slightly trembling because she's like, "Why the fuck am I being given a present right now?
And
It's
as you
not
do,
my birthday."
the cloak of Elvenkind falls out.
She's gonna sort of like hold it in like rub it between her fingers and say, "Your old cloak?"
Yeah, it's family heirloom kind of thing. It's elven made. It's remember way back when we went to get those cloaks and they had like that really tatty thing. Yeah, you won't find it in that state. I think it'll be good for us to be able to be a little bit extra sneaky. But
you guys
take care of
you'll-
it.
you'll
It's
see
special.
Her like smile for the first time. Like it's like a very hidden. It's like just like a little twitch of her lips when you mention that it's a family heirloom. Like it just sort of twitches for a second up, then it vanishes again. And she quickly she stands up, sort of whips it round herself, pops it on, and then slowly sinks back down and just sort of is like holding it, like a section of it in her hands. She's trying to say thank you, but it's like the words won't come out because she still doesn't think she deserves it.
Yep.
So she's just sort of giving you this like one shoulder shrug, like she's like mumbling something to herself.
Yeah, he's just gonna do a shoulder bump again, whatever. Just it is special, but I think you'll get better use out of it at the moment. So just shut up and eat your breakfast.
She'll like do the same little twitch of a smile and then start eating.
Cool. So you can add Cloak of Elvenkind, and obviously Keenan, if you remove yours.
Take out, yeah.
It does.
So I have this new
require
fancy one.
some attunement, but I don't actually remember what the conditions for attunement are. So anyway.
I could spend a
I
long
think it's
rest.
just like an hour.
Yeah. I
Oh.
don't think it has any further conditions than just spending a long rest, but I will double check for you.
Okie dokie. Excuse me. Oh Jesus.
Yeah, sorry, I can't. I was trying to collect my thoughts. As the morning sort of draws on a little bit, it's about 9-10 o'clock now. All of you are now gathered around the table, having some breakfast, talking amongst each other. I assume Kalanthar has given you a little bit of information.
Yeah, I probably, whilst we're doing over the breakfast, I do it like through my mind thing, one at a time, just so I don't risk blurring it out to anyone over here.
Okay. Do you have dark vision?
I don't think I do. Let me check.
What do I want for this? Can you make an insight check for me?
No. Yeah, sure. Oh, that is a 4.
Cool. I have no further information.
Yeah, I don't have dark vision.
Yeah, unfortunately, you don't have dark vision, so it's very dark, only lit by fires. You're not sure how many people you saw or / whom those people might be, so in terms of what the races are.
Okay.
Pipkin, have you told us about the conversations you overheard?
Great question.
Do you mean about the dwarves?
About the dwarves and their shipment and people being in the mountains and all of
Not
that?
really, like not clearly. Before sobbing, I relayed that we need to go to Green Hill because it's in danger. I don't think I've mentioned what Green Hill is, nor that it is my town. And I said I tracked them down. I haven't given details. And during the sobbing, there was some blurbs, but not anything coherent.
Yeah. I was just working out if, like, by context, Keenan would go, fucking slavers, like whether he'd put 2 and 2 together. But if you haven't said it, it's cool.
Yeah, I don't think I've said enough to really relay that. She's not intelligent enough to do that.
Yeah, but she's strong as hell, so it counts.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Once we've all caught up, Callan's going to go over to Nim. And, when I tinkered with your armor last time?
Yeah.
Excuse me, you tinkled on her armor?
Tinkered. Tinkered. Keaton.
There
Get
was
your mind
no
out the
tinkling.
gutter.
Just checking.
Would you like me to change it up a little bit? Or are you happy with how it is now? I can make you a little bit harder to hit, or I can give your weapon a bit of a buff instead if you'd like. Or do you want to keep how it is now?
Right. I absolutely love how it is. But if I could,
We can keep how it. The armor can stay how it looks, but
like if you can make me harder to hit, so
It goes down a lot, so
there's less need to revive me. Then that would be amazing.
And you'll see him sort of rub his fingertips, and you see a little bit of crackling as he puts his hand over the pauldron, and you'll change it to the enhanced defense, so you gain a permanent +1 to your armor class instead.
Amazing. Nim then kind
Just
of
realised that would be a better option, so I thought, I might as well do that now. We've got a long rest.
She's like you can tell from her face that she has something else that she wants to like say or ask, but she's like holding herself back.
Well, gotta make sure we keep on number one frontliner up, right? I go down like a
Yeah,
horsefly.
no, thank
Let's be
you.
fair.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
Keenan's going to try and
amazing.
say this in so that Pipkin can hear it and observe. Keenan's going to kind of like look at Cullen directly. Yeah, we need to try and avoid fights if possible. You know,
I know. Doesn't hurt to be prepared, though, Keenan. Let's be fair. We're not the sneakiest bunch as everyone, as a collective. Let's be fair.
There's being prepared, and then there's instigating a fight by shooting an arrow at somebody. I understand. The arrow talked.
It was an impulse decision.
I get it, but as Pipkin will tell you, sometimes impulses affect the team.
I know. I apologize. I honestly didn't think he would come after us. I didn't realize he had 30 plus with him. Thought maybe 5, but not 30.
It's a learning experience, like being careful on cliffs, you know. And the whole purpose of this is to demonstrate to Pipkin that,
literally, as you say,
I do this with everybody.
Pipkin rolls her eyes now that she's sober. She's like, ugh, this guy. Now that she's sober and no longer vulnerable, emotionally, at least.
Yeah. So I think normally I've got a really good memory, but there's a lot of shit going on. I think we need to work out what we need to be doing and what our priorities are. For me, priority is making sure Pipkin doesn't die from this fucking disease thing.
I second that.
I did.
I think
I'm not
that
hearing a vote from you, Pipkin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Okay. And you see him with his notebook, and he's like, 1. No Pipkin dying from bite. And then you see him write it 2, and then like look up at everyone expectantly.
Well, we've all got our own personal things, but I think we focus on one thing for now. Because let's be fair, we tend to get sidetracked quite a bit as a group.
Yeah, I guess it depends on where we need to go to heal Pipkin. Like, because we were, from what I remember, we were heading to the Dwarven Kingdom via that town that needed help. But if that's like the wrong way for saving Pipkin, then maybe we go somewhere else after. But I don't.
It's a good point. What are our options for healing and curing?
So a
Let's list them
Jinn, a silver dragon, a high-powered druid, potentially who, and yeah, just powerful beings.
Okay. And Zephyr, didn't who say that there was rumors of a Jinn at the Dwarven Kingdom?
Yeah. There's potentially one there.
I mean, that could work.
And Green Hill, Pipkin? There's a lot of villages to save, but you seemed like really intent on saving that one last night. Where is that?
It's really far away. It's like a month away. I sort of describe the general direction of it. Like, I know that through the peaks we'd be able to get there faster, but I don't know.
Well, you guys do have a map, and Green Hill is not on it, but Pipkin, you know that it's at the bottom of the range of mountains known as Linzia.
I relay that
is
info.
that is on the map. So Kalanthar, I think, still has it.
Yeah.
And it's right at the bottom, underneath the lake.
You kind of camping outdoorsy types. If we were to go through the mountains, like we were thinking on our way to Dwarven Kingdom, how long would it take to get to Green Hill that way? Pipkin, you said it takes less time.
How long would it take, DM?
There's a question.
That is a question.
I'd say if it was a month on the long run, probably minimum 2-3 weeks, I guess.
Yeah, it'd take you 3 weeks to get to, and it'd take you an extra week to go all the way around.
Sorry, I think you cut out for a little bit. What was it?
So it'd take you 3 weeks to go if you go through the mountains, but it'd take you 4 to go all the way around.
Right.
Or 2.5 maybe.
And how far are we from Cardunor, from where we are at the minute?
That is maybe 9 days, 8 days.
Well, I'll relay it on to the others and just say, well, the Dwarven Kingdom, Cardunor, is only 9 days. Do we want to risk the audience with the djinn, or do you want to just try going to help Pipkin's hometown first?
We're not going.
Priority 1: Pipkin doesn't die.
Pipkin doesn't
We've agreed
die.
on that.
Yeah.
I actually, how are we doing on that timescale? That water helped, didn't it? And then he thrusts a water skin into Pipkin's hands. This one's not for drinking. That's the water from the lake, and it helped last time.
All right. I think we had
18. No,
I'm
she
not
was
sure how many.
17 because you were on 19 and then you were away for 2 days.
You were on 18, and it's been 3 days.
3 days.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, I think we have to risk the audience with the djinn.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best bet then.
And then,
Yeah, and then Green
attempting to speak in a code, he's just going to go, about that delivery this morning, are we okay letting that slide before we leave?
What do you think was happening? You just...
How can I? I'm trying to think how to say this, and as he's attempting to make it sound like a code. It looked like some people were being taken away to have some fun that they didn't want to be part of.
Oh no, consent is really important. Really, really important. Okay. Oh, guys, heist movie, heist. Do we want to do another heist? I know the last one didn't go so well.
When did you do the last
one? That was the vault.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And she just Nim just turns to Callan and is like, "If we find a portal, do not go into it."
I forgot about that.
In my defense, we didn't really have anywhere to go that time, but still, yeah, I get your drift.
So, do we? But before we leave here, I'd certainly like to investigate
Yeah.
And maybe stop. We could do a full frontal, which is one of my favourite things to do, or we can do
Always very
a
full frontal.
slide in by night, which is another favourite thing of mine to do.
Well, judging by how we've been running for 4 days from what appears to be just one of them, I don't think a full frontal is the way to go on this one. I think a late night excursion might be the best way.
Says the guy who doesn't have night vision.
All right. Just because I'm not that edgy, okay? I get it.
I don't know if that counts as edgy or just prepared. I don't.
Okay, has my man who gotten back to me yet?
He has not.
Damn it, who?
Damn who?
Does it have to be?
Nin,
Does it have to be someone that Zephyr knows when she does her thing? 'Cause it's like a one per day thing, isn't it?
You have to have at least met them, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, it's very loud if she could potentially talk to anyone.
You
I was just curious.
you have to be able to visualize who you're sending it to. Otherwise, some people in toilets are catching some weird messages.
Can Seth quickly pull Callan aside?
Yeah, sure. Don't resist.
She doesn't really give you a choice anyway. She just
Getting
starts
choked out by a tail. Just like...
Yeah, the tail wraps around your leg, pulls you out of your chair, and starts dragging you across the floor.
I've already fallen over once.
Strength.
Stop it! She's like getting dragged off.
Keenan will grab the back of Kozar's shirt and say, "They're not going far. You can keep an eye on her from here."
She's just gonna walk to like the other side of the.
Oh, Kozar
in
like lackadaisical lounging on one of the seats.
Yeah, I don't think he's the type to like jump up
But
and be
he
like,
is
"Hey, yo,
keeping a very close eye. But he didn't move. He doesn't need to.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Trusts her. She's gonna say to him, you can do that thing and make like objects magical, right?
Yes, but I would have to get rid of Jim's support rock.
That's fine. We're gonna be with Jim soon anyway. I only ask because what if I could make one of the flowers?
We could try it. I don't know whether it would work.
Or is it a specific kind of magic that it needs?
I can imbue things
I don't know how it works, and I don't know.
It's normally something quite. Put it plainly, it's more of a party trick than anything, but it couldn't hurt to try. Can you control what type of flower you make, or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like waves the staff.
Okay.
Yeah, I can any kind of flower that I want to. It'll be non-magical until you make it magical, but I don't know if that's gonna work. But it would just save us all this.
I can try. I've got no idea whether it will work. I don't really have that much alchemical knowledge. I've dabbled, but I can try.
She's gonna grab his wrist again and start
as he pulls out his like notebook that he got from Barabbas.
Yeah, like the second you pull it out,
it's
already dragging you outside. Dirt to like.
Yeah.
She needs to get to like a patch of earth where she can bring this flower up. So she's like dragged you out of the doors. They've like disappeared outside. She's looking for like a patch of dirt on the floor.
And he just frantically tries to pick up one of the letters that falls out of the notebook.
I just spat my water out. Yeah. While she's dragging you away.
Yep. So
As we
up
get
to.
outside, she'll get her staff
Mhm.
and she'll make one of the flowers sort of sprout out of the ground from nearby.
Mhm.
Make me a nature check.
What's 0 to nature? 19! Sorry. I was like really doubting myself.
You are capable to produce a non-magical version of the flower you saw. As it
So, like,
sprouts
sort of
from the ground.
just shrugs and says, like, that's as much as I can do. It's not magical right now. I don't know if you can make it magical.
Right, DM question. Is it going to be magical tinkering or the imbuing? If you want me to attempt, if I'm going to attempt this.
I'm not 100% say no to attempting it, by the way, Ben. I just...
No,
No,
I just want to know what resource. I want to know which resource to use. Like, it's either I lose the +1 on my sword, or I just use the magical tinkering slot. That's the reason why I'm asking. Because magical tinkering is just light, odor, recorded message,
I
static
will leave
visual
it down
effect.
to you of what you think would be the best choice.
Oh, that's horrible.
So there's a different DC. Okay.
Yep.
Right. I will get rid of my +1 to my sword. Give me a second.
Oh no,
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Where is it?
He can redo it the next day.
Yeah.
Sorry, you don't use your sword very often. Let's be real.
That's true.
I don't
Oh,
remember,
did I mean
I
to
don't
put
remember
that?
when I've
Oops.
seen him use it. Oh, he's just...
I know, I didn't mean to actually do that. I was just trying to change it. I'll change it in a second.
Wow, success.
Right. I will use my infusion. So I'll drop it
Okay.
on the sword and see if I can attempt to do this.
Okay, you need to get... It's going to be an Arcana,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to get a... I'm trying to think of what number.
As they're doing
A
it together,
22.
Seth's gonna give him
So,
guidance.
from what I remember, either a 19 or a 20 is the only thing that will do it.
Yeah, you can have my guidance too. Seth will
Okay.
just, since you're right next to her doing it, and she wants you to.
Yeah, your DC is 22.
Okay, let's give this a go. He'll just like rub his hands together and they'll like spark up a little bit and then he'll attempt it. Oh, that's a 20, dirty 20, plus the whatever it would be from
Please,
guidance,
please.
which is 1d4.
D4. Come on, it's so close.
It's a 2, so it's 22. Does that make it?
He said 22 is the DC.
Yes!
I'm not from accident. I thought you just took
And you just see like as he's molding his hands around it, and you see it like spark up, and it makes like a little cloud above it, and then it just appears as how it should be after, if it works
Ooh.
properly.
Come on, please.
keep going off the same.
Sorry, excuse my husband. He's very loud.
Okay. The flower seems to unfurl a little bit more, and the edges are tinged with this almost teal color as it begins to sparkle and then softly begins to glow ever so gently.
Seth is just glancing between him and the flower. Like, I don't expect this to work. What is happening? Is it working? I don't... What do we do? She sort of pops her head back into through the doors and goes, Keenan!
Yeah, comes over.
And she's like, we did a thing! And she points at the flower.
Oh, you did a thing. Oh,
And then she
what
pokes
did they
her
do
head-
with the thing that you just
and then
did a
she's
thing
like,
with?
No, I wasn't there. And then she pokes her
Neither
head
was
back
I.
in and goes,
Nim!
Well, apparently, an artificer plus a cleric equals a druid. because we made a flower, bitch.
Damn!
And Dim comes like running out, like,
through his notebook, trying to find
What?
the notes on the cure.
What do we do with the thing? We made the they made the thing, but what do we do with the thing to make the thing to no dying?
Steph is just jazz handing, pointing at the flowers.
Yeah.
Like, look what I'm doing!
She made like
You guys were there. We were.
yeah, I know. She like put.
I have notes
she
on
did-
how we made it, by the way.
Oh my god!
She did this
fine.
like made this little like I don't want to call it juice, but like a juice from the flower, and then I drank it, and then everything was fine.
A nectar?
Okay.
Nectars from flowers, not juice.
Okay.
Get everyone together. We'll take it step by step to produce this thing. Everybody, quick! Come, quick!
Steph's hand is still like on Callan's arm, where she was like giving him guidance and like also slapping him with excitement at the same time.
Yeah.
And now she's sort of like calmed down and it's just there.
He's frantically
Holding
trying to
his
find the page of his notebook where he wrote down the steps, and
You
he
do.
like with one hand.
Yeah, so you have all the steps. There is one thing that you guys forgot, and I made sure to write this down. None of you picked up the herbs.
We know what herbs it is, though.
You know what herbs
Yeah,
it
we-
is,
'cause
so
we
you would be
collect
able to try and find them, for sure. But because I knew in my notes, I was like, oh, they didn't pick up some extras. So it was elk milk, the viruli bloom in a poultice, which is where you ground it down. Something named whisper leaf, dusk root. There was the moss of the viruli, which is a plant. It's just named after the druids. Essence of dragon tongue, and then star bloom. All things you can find on a Reddit page I found about cool fantasy herbs.
That's unfortunate. I thought you were going to say all things you could find in this town.
In this town.
How convenient.
Now, I distinctly remember when we came into this tavern, you saying that there were herbs and things hanging up all over the place.
I did say those words.
He's like, fuck.
Fuck!
Outlanders, assemble!
Oh yeah, you are Outlanders. There is. I will have a look at which ones it would be. There is currently.
You see lavender, rosemary, oregano.
So you saw some pale translucent leaves that you know as whisper leaf. And some white, almost lily-looking flowers that are star blooms.
Okay, so we've got 2 of the
So
7.
Hey, that's more than 0 of 7.
Yeah.
True.
Moss
we
of the
don't have them
viruli
right
you
now,
can
but
find
we've
at
got
any apothecary.
Okay.
You would know that because it's used as purging ailments. So it's a lot of the time it's used if you have food poisoning, or they wouldn't know it as that. But if you've eaten some foul food, or if your stomach hurts or things like that. So a replacement for chalk, essentially. Dusk root for the Outlanders, you know, is only found at old battlefields. And it's a dark violet looking root. And I've forgotten what the other one was. Please remind me. One, two, three.
Viruli bloom.
Viruli bloom.
Essence of dragon tongue.
Oh, Essence of Dragon Tongue is rare, but you can find it in a lot of groves, usually around druids, or in the Shadowbinders Guild. Which one of you knows that?
Mm-hmm.
It is. It can be used as a healing essence. It is also a very, very effective poison.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. And then obviously elk milk. Bit unusual. I'll leave that for how you guys are gonna find some of that.
Roll for deer. Roll for
Roll
milking.
for elk. No,
gonna be
I
a-
am kidding, of course. Elk milk is a delicacy often found amongst the elves.
So, Keenan, your contacts.
Yes. Problem is, small village.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need to
Small
get somewhere a little
human
bit.
village.
We need to get somewhere a little bit more populated, and we'll be able to.
Shoulders are gonna like slump slightly because she's like, I thought I did good.
However, you
Arguably, you got
we
rid
need
of
to
the
get-
most difficult part.
but
As in the
Persephone- We
need to
no
get
longer
somewhere
existing
more-
flower.
you created this one, right?
Mhm.
Could you create one of the other ones?
We made it magical. What the other things that we need? If they're flowers, I can make them. I can make flowers. I can't make anything else, just the flower.
Wait, so what were we having difficulty finding, sorry?
Duskroot, moss of the virili,
Yeah.
elk milk,
Essence of dragon tongue.
and essence of dragon tongue.
And virili bloom?
No, you have a virili bloom.
Oh, we have one. Oh, that's what it is. And
That's what it is.
That's what the flower is. Yeah.
So so in this town, sorry if you mentioned it.
In the
My
tavern,
mind is
on the ceiling, is
Yeah.
a bunch of herbs
couple.
and flowers.
Okay,
One of
but in
them being star bloom and whisperleaf.
in the town that we're in.
Yeah, in the
There
tavern.
isn't an apothecary. Yeah,
No,
there's
no,
not
the
an
town- not the
apothecary.
tavern,
There's
the
not an
town.
apothecary though.
There's not
a
an
general store,
apothecary.
smithy, farrier.
Is there
and a
any
shop.
any kind of merchant?
There's a
There's
general
like
store.
a general store that would sell like rope and pickaxes and things like that.
Um,
Okay, for starters, let me see if we can procure those. And I'll point at the ones on the ceiling. And he's going to go and have a chat with, hopefully, the barman from before, the proprietor. If not,
Hank, yeah,
any server.
his name is
Seth
Hank.
is gonna hand him the pouch with all their shared money in. It's not a lot. It's 25 gold pieces and 13 silver. But she's like, it's a group thing.
While he does that, Zephyr's gonna bolt outside to wherever the merchant, the general store is.
Okay. All right.
Zephyr sat in front of the flower.
The general store, it looks very generic. It's a very well built, large timber frame, with a very small door at the front. I haven't named it, so it's not gonna have a name.
Yep.
It just says general
Okay.
store, and then inside is a lot of very generic, what looks like for above table. It's adventuring gear, but obviously it's just like survivalist kits and things you would need to survive in the forest.
Okay. So Zephyr has the feature supply chain. So Zephyr's like not expecting anything from this seller of goods. Zephyr is mostly after information, and is gonna ask if people in the village were in need of herbs or anything, or an apothecary. Where could they find it? Is there a person that goes out to collect these kind of things within the town, like a herbalist or something, or is there like a town or something nearby?
We're basically looking for a wisdom for the Wheel of Time fans out there.
I
yeah,
would
so
say
my
with your feet, he tells you that you can find what you would need at a place called Iron Ridge, which is a very small
Piece of shit.
but slightly larger town than this one. What was that?
that's so funny.
That was funny.
Oh, did you
That's
hear him?
comedic timing there.
Yeah.
Oh, did you hear him?
You
I'm
piece
so
of shit.
sorry.
I'm sorry, Chris.
Oh,
All
no.
right. Fucking
I'm
sorry.
Like it's just talking and all we get through is piece of shit.
So
Yeah,
sorry.
Iron Ridge is a slightly larger. It's not quite a city, but is a very large mining town, and you guys have already heard about it before.
Okay.
It is
d-
the place. I'll list off what it is, just in case no one remembers. It's the place that was on your list of places being attacked by bandits.
Ah.
Yeah. It was also the same place that you got the map that you can navigate all the way through the Hellfire Peaks, and out the other side. Both of those you can do in Iron Ridge, and obviously now you can find a herbalist.
And how, just for my information, more than Zephyr's, how far is this place from where they are?
It's literally like 3 days away from where you are right now.
Okay,
Well, not even that. 2 days.
2 days. Okay. Zephyr thanks him graciously, and gives him a gold coin, and then runs back to her friends.
Yeah, you can see he's like biting on it just to make sure it's real.
Thank you so much.
Could I get
You're
a
welcome.
herbalism kit from this guy, or is it more general than that?
Yes. You wouldn't be proficient with it, but yes,
No,
you can.
I
buy
just
one.
wanted to pick one up. So that's 5 gold. I'll do that.
So,
Unless he, unless he wants to give me a discount. Joke.
No.
So Keenan is going to try and sweet talk the barman into giving us these herbs, but we'll pay for them if need be.
He's happy. You don't even need to roll persuasion. He's pretty happy to sell them to you for a gold piece.
Cool.
He doesn't know what. Like for him, they're ornamental, so he's like, go for it.
Yeah. Cool. I procure them
Dust.
and then hand Persephone back the group pot. That feels a little bit heavier than
What?
when she gave it to me.
Okay.
Add 25 gold to the group pot.
Okay.
And then he's gonna look for Zeph.
Zephyr runs back in, akin to what I just posted in the chat. Zephyr runs back in, like, panting a little bit, and she's like, guys, there's a herbalist, apothecary place, 2 days away, and relays all the information she got from the general store.
Excellent.
Is it on
Zeph.
the way to the gym place? Just in
Yeah.
case?
Yeah.
You'd have to go through it to access Khaldunor.
Fantastic.
Zeph, you know that thing you do with the talking to people from long distances? Do you
Yeah.
think because you've met her, you could get a message to Elle?
To who?
To my sister.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know
Damn.
if like there's any restrictions or anything, but if you could ask her to get us some dust root delivered to that apothecary area, she'll be able to get some, or she'll be able to ask my mum to get us some delivered there.
Ask for the other things too, because we need those. Elk milk is round elves. Elves like it a lot.
Yeah, I'll ask her for all of it, but that's the one that's going to be the hardest to find, I think. So
I
that
also think
stress that that's
essence
the most important.
Essence of Dragon Tongue will be pretty hard to find too, because it's around groves and.
Yeah,
we
I don't know if they'll be able
about
to get
your
the dragon
shadow
tongue. They will definitely have
finding
dust
shit.
root to poison people.
Okay.
Touche.
So Zeph is like, okay, and she's like a little bit nervous because like she's only really met Keenan's sister the one time she threw her off a boat.
you've met her twice.
Mhm.
The first
Twice.
time she threw you
threw me
off
off
the
the boat.
boat into the port,
Yeah.
into the
Yeah, I was about to say that didn't really
vault.
count though.
And the second time she arrived with a whole slew of merchants as you were about to lend an assault on the the floating
sorry.
sort
I'm
of
so
Frost.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Cloud Fortress.
she's low key, and by low key I mean high key, terrified of this woman. And so wait, what's her full name?
Eloise.
I don't remember what her
I need.
full name is.
I was trying to find my name.
Eleanoriel
yes.
Ulandar.
There we go.
Okay.
I'm just
Looking
going
through
down as Eleanor.
million notes trying to find it.
The last name, because yeah, Zeph's not gonna first name her.
Maybe write down what you want to say
I was about to
before
say,
you
should we
message
write
her.
a script. Write her a script, Keenan. Write her a script.
Okay.
Okay.
This is what you should say. Okay. His pen, paper, quill and paper.
I mean, Quill.
Start friendly. Hi, LNL. This is a friend of Keenan's. He needs a massive favor, and you or your mum are probably the only ones that can help. Stop. He has been inflicted with a curse.
Oh, clever.
And needs some we need some herbs to cure him. Dust root.
I don't know how I feel about lying to your sister.
It's fine. I do it all the time.
That's just what it's like having siblings. It's fine.
She threw me off a boat.
Yeah, that's even more of a reason to lie to her. Payback.
What if she throws me off a boat again?
You're not on a boat.
Can we also talk about the fact that she's saying this and she could fly?
Yeah. Listen, if we see her again, you can blame it on me entirely. I made you do it. Okay.
I mean, he did. He is quite literally making you do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, dust root, the moss, the elk milk, the dragon tongue. Say that it's urgent. We are going to be in Iron Bridge, I want to say, in 4 days.
Or
We want to do a heist.
Oh yes, it was 3 days away, wasn't it?
oh, okay. Right.
Matt, and then really appreciate it. We'll get Keenan to message you when he's conscious again.
Okay. And then she kind of tries to psych herself up. She like takes a deep breath in.
Mm-hmm.
She like takes several short, sharp ones. She's like, okay, I got this.
You can do this. You absolutely can do this. She won't be able to see any of your body language, so she won't be able to tell if you're lying or anything, if that's what you're worrying about. You've got this. You're amazing at messaging people, and I'm going to give her a bardic inspiration to add a d6 to any ability check.
So you are able to
She'll
send this.
also give her guidance out of panic. Just out of pure fear. She'll just give her guidance.
You are able to send this, but I will need you to roll a deception check.
Oh, no.
Against her insight.
Well, you've got bardic and...
You have bardic and guidance.
So that's an average of
Gally.
+5.
Wait, deception? Did you say?
Yes.
Okay.
Can
So
she
that's-
have advantage because I've coached her in how to deceive Ellie?
I
wrote a script.
didn't give her disadvantage for that reason.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Fair.
Oh,
Fair.
yeah.
Thank you.
Right, so wait.
Yeah, because she sounds very nervous. I'm not sure if she would be able to pull it off without your help.
Okay, so the what is the guidance again?
1d4.
1d4, and then what's your bardic? 1d6.
1d6.
Okay.
Oh,
and
rough.
then- I know.
Better.
That's a 21 total.
21.
No way. So I rolled a 16, and she has an insight of +6.
Oh
Oh,
no.
She might do it anyway.
But I will say you get a response back with, of course we would be willing to help. We're not sure if we can get it to Iron Ridge, as that's landlocked. Tell brother when he's conscious, tit for tat. Mother is waiting.
Oh no, no,
Uh-huh,
no! Let's
uh-huh,
not talk about it. No, no, it's mine.
That's until it's going to be Cove Watch.
Like, so Zeph was like, I'm not sure if she believed me. But and then she realized like the whole message.
Mhm.
Doing her best voice acting.
For my lovely Mr. Mapman, the places that currently could be accessed by the sea are, of course, Cove Watch. You could turn back on yourselves and arrange for it to be picked up back the other way. But again, it would take just as long.
Saltburn, Dementia, I guess are the only other ones.
And then the other place is, of course, because I'm the DM and I can do this, is the Dwarven capital, as they have underground access in and out of the
We're
mountains.
going there anyway. Okay.
But yes, you would not need to go to a shop anymore, as Ellie will happily provide these for you for a small fee, or not so small fee.
Yes.
Depends on your outlook. But you know for sure that those items will be in the Dwarven capital.
I guess we go to the Dwarven capital. I hope she's not there.
It's fine.
It'll be fine.
It's fine. We'll wait a couple of days, and then you can send another message. Say that I was conscious for a little bit. Said that I understood the message, and this is part of what my mum's waiting for. This is needed for that.
We'll cross that bridge when I have the ability
When you
to
have to.
message her again.
Yes, yes, exactly.
If Ellie is there when we arrive, like Keenan can just talk shit.
Well,
right?
exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Don't have to rely on.
I would love to watch that.
trying
Just like an hour and a half of them both trying to like persuade each other.
Through Zephyr.
Yeah.
Poor Zephyr's being like human telephone or elf telephone.
Whatever the
Keenan
D&D,
whispering to Kellen and Kellen doing the mind link to Zephyr.
whatever the D&D equivalent of a bogger is, Zephyr's is definitely Ellie. It comes out of the cupboard or whatever, and Zephyr's like, ah!
The boogeyman.
Yes, obviously not to railroad you guys completely to the Dwarven capital, but it is the only logistical place within the time frame that you're looking for. In that Pipkin not dying, which would be a helpful time.
Rule number 1.
Yeah. Yes.
Rule number 1: Pipkin no die.
It's a good rule to live by.
I've just been staring at the map right now. Like this whole time, I've just been
That's
staring
actually
at
what
it.
I've been doing.
Okay, that's good. We know we're going to have what we need for Pipkin not to die. Let's plan for this heist. We need to case it. We need to get supplies. We need Persephone. You need to practice being stealthy
Oh, excuse me.
with the cloak.
I'll be fine.
Kozar, you need to teach me how to pick locks better, because although I'm excellent at picking locks, there are one or two that I'm not so good at, and good to share knowledge.
Honestly, most of it's just pure talent. I'm not sure if you have it.
Rude.
I have lots of talents that I'd be happy to share you.
Oh, all right.
Oh.
Excuse you? I mean, nothing.
Okay.
It's kind of weird because like Hiccups is my sister, so Lee's like my sister, so it's like dating my sister's boyfriend.
Not my
But-
boyfriend.
Yes, absolutely not your
Oh,
boyfriend.
Yeah. I wonder how long that's gonna work. But yes, we
until
are
the
going
end
to
of the
go
campaign.
to a quick 5-minute break. Before we come back with you guys scouting out in the daytime of the warehouse and the various different mercenary stuff. I couldn't think of the word. But yeah, and I also am glad to bring back the mystery dice bags at the end of the month are coming back. So our ability to raffle.
And the dice are
raffle?
amazing. If you don't win a set, go and check out their website.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're very good.
But yes, that will be
Come back every
coming
week.
again at the end of the month with also the restart of our Saturday campaign. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But until then, we're going to go a quick 5-10 minute break while people get water. I almost think where people get pee and they go water. Where people go pee and they get water and drinks or beer or tea or whatever they're drinking.
I too am gonna
And we'll
go
see you
get
guys
pee
soon
and
in
water.
a little bit. Bye.
Find me a place among my brethren, the pines, the bees, the frost. I cannot stay where nature's embrace is lost. Find me where canoe nose makes his revelry. Where the horned one sleeps. Down by riverside resting, no one but me. Leave behind your troubles and your worries. Set your soul on fire and dance among the trees. Oh, find me where canoe nose makes his revelry. Ooh, where the horned one sleeps. Deep in I see the light of the stars shining through. Down by shoreside sea, no one but me. Find me where Canoes makes his revelry. Where the horned one sleeps. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, that when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise, for the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night, the night. Oh. Strike, turn, hammer and burn, the bellows teach and the fires burn. Iron, oil, temper and toil, the forge ain't hot if your blood don't boil. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade to slay that evil heel, a sword that gleams like diamonds that can make the darkness kneel. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, that when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise, for the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night, the night. Hear that anvil ring, echo song of the hammer swing. Shape, grind, polish and shine, the world ain't ready for work so fine. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade, for to purge the blight, which creeps upon this world we love to take from us the light. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, that when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise, for the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, that when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise, for the blade that like some more until you strike the mithril score. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome to the Isle of Sin. With your life, pay your dues, work or die, it's yours to choose. You've got nothing left to lose. The checks await should you refuse. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome to the Isle of Sin. An empty look behind your eyes, no soul of a man left there to find. No hope within these iron sights. You're worth these minds till the day you die. Welcome to the Isle of Sin. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome to the Isle of Sin. Hey, welcome to the Isle of Sin. Her soul and mine, they're one and the same. Split one in twain, and we both feel the pain. The sins of one father unread in our veins. Through darkness and hunger she remained, but her heart no more beats in tandem with mine. And I'm waiting for the wink and the witty one-liner, for her to say she got me and hit me with a smile. But the hole in my chest says I'll be waiting for a while. Be a boatman, your reaper, I'll be yours, but you can't keep her. Lay me down on a bed of ravens' feathers. Dear sister, swear to me you'll stay close, never out of reach. Oh, do not go far from me until I'm gone. Mantle of death, black feathered crown, lift up this body asleep on the ground. A soul for a soul, let mine be laid down in this tomb I wish had never been found. You were a champion, I want her back. So I'll be a boatman, your reaper. I'll be yours, but you can't keep her. Lay me down on a bed of ravens' feathers. Dear
There we go. Welcome back. Yeah, like we left off, you guys have created a magical flower that can cure Pipkin as long as you can get hold of the herbs, which you have now negotiated to arrange to arrive in the dwarven capital, which is about 8 days from where you are right now. What would we like to do? Apparently so. Down the road, but yes. Probably. Yeah, you've made it sound even worse than it is. Okay. Oh, you are so lucky. Yeah, I remember reading that book once. don't have to wear the armor. True. Hiccups, you would be attuned to it, by the way. Hiccups would be... Persephone would be attuned to it by now. Mm-hmm. Oh, are we killing people? Pipkin, I'm so down.
yeah, Nim then goes back to like rejoin the group and be like, right, so what supplies are me and Zephyr
You guys
getting?
over there flirting, being all cute.
No, just making dreaming plans, you know, like we do.
Sounds
I would just like to say I do think you make a lovely couple. So
And Nim,
I approve.
like, if it's even possible, goes even more red and is like, he's really not my type, but thank you.
And Zephyr just goes, a couple of what?
Of good old pals.
That's so Zeph.
Very much so. Supply team.
Oh my god, Chris.
We need things that can distract. Callan, you might be good at making stuff to obscure, like, you know, stuff that generates smoke. I'm sure I've seen you do that sort of stuff before.
It's whether I can get the materials for it here is the main thing.
Yeah,
What do you need?
But that kind of thing is what we're looking for. Lock picks.
I can make stuff smell really bad. That's kind of like an alternate.
Yeah, but so can Kozar if he eats too much beef.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can put it in. I can put it inside something.
So can Kozar with his beef.
I saw
Nice.
Lycane's reaction and I just
It's like, what the fuck? Why with this?
catching strays. I can know myself. Oh. I'm
Or I
just
could
saying
make,
that
or
I'm
I could make something emit like a
Oh,
really
okay.
bright light. You know, like when I blinded that vampire one time.
I've already chosen my spells for the day, so I'm afraid I can't be useful at all.
I think a bright
Sorry.
light's a good shout, you know, if we're doing this in the night.
I probably should have prepped like fireflies or something because they're really cool. And I almost did, and I should have because they're so cool.
By the way, you got prepared at the moment. Feather form.
Persephone, you know that thing you do with your hat where you look like somebody else?
Yeah. Mhm.
Maybe we can like see someone really important that they wouldn't think to question.
Okay.
Maybe
I'm just throwing ideas
We
out
all
there.
know that I'm not the best liar.
Better than me.
I have a +3, but
That's a better liar than me. I'm rubbish at lying.
you fucking liar.
You're lying right now.
I'm telling you. You are a terrible liar. Wait, I don't.
Wait a minute.
I don't know how to. What?
And
Lying
for the
about
record,
the
because I was like, I'm going to roll for deception on that. That was a 25 deception roll. That I'm not a liar. That I'm terrible at it.
I'm a bit. You know what? I believe you.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say you were lying. You're truthing.
You're a truther. The best
Straight
truther
up
I
truther.
did know. Well, I mean, yes. If we happen to see someone that looks important, I'm happy to. And then she like looks at him and she goes, "I've done it before," and like gives him a, like, a knowing look because of the tower.
Yeah.
So I can manage that, I'm sure. He can do it too, and she gestures to Kozar.
I don't know why, but that got, you can do it too with can do.
You can do it, Nikki.
You can do it! Repeat it! That's why I named my guidance, because of that reason. I've nicknamed it You Can Do It.
I love it. Or we could all go shopping together and we can all do just kind of like a wander past the hangar thing and scope it out ourselves. You know, many eyes see different things.
That, like, you and Persephone getting married thing need a venue, or is that
No one said...
That's a backup plan, I think.
backup plan? Okay.
I don't think I'd ever get married. I can't settle down.
First, you guys said I was marrying Callan. Then I was marrying Kozar, and now I'm marrying Keenan.
I mean,
What
I
the hell
thought
am I to you guys?
The original
Can't
confusion
believe
was it was a ceremony, but it wasn't that kind of ceremony. So I get why they got confused that time. But
that
not the
you
same.
and Keenan are such good friends that it would be the most believable.
true.
True.
But also, can you imagine what our kids would be like?
We're not actually getting married, Keenan.
What
We're
if?
not having, let alone having children. Why are we talking about children?
That-
We need to be
that-
talking
there's-
about the plan.
Rules about brothers and sisters getting married. I don't think that's
We
a good
are
idea.
not related.
Don't worry,
What if
Keenan.
you?
Our children will be smart and beautiful.
Yes, they will.
Steph almost looks hurt. She's like, oh, so you guys are... You know what? Yeah. You guys go scope it out for your wedding.
What if one of us takes Jim and we go and knock on the door, and we
I
ask
did marry
them?
this, sorry.
I'm just thinking the same thing in my head.
No.
Room at the end.
Brings a new meaning to your husband's an ass.
and we ask if we can store Jim in there.
Stables, so why would we do that? He literally took the donkey he took him from me and said, nah, he's got to sleep over here.
Oh.
Maybe there was a
Don't know
noise
where the
complaint
accent-
from him Eeyoring a bit too loud.
Oi.
Yeah, we have to move him.
He's a very quiet boy.
I-
He says, as
I
he's
am
Eeyore.
loving all of these ideas,
The
but
noise
I will
complaint.
suggest if interaction's needed, I will speak to them and
Yeah.
come up with a story.
That's the best.
The noise complaint was that throughout the night they heard, "Hey, little mama," will be whispering it in.
Just on repeat every time he nudges.
What
I'm so
are we doing
The stable boy
first?
just comes out traumatized.
That's what I need to know.
I think we should scope it out first, sneakily, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, we can do that.
What if we? What if a group of us make a big diversion outside while you scope it out?
Yeah, do it. Have a big old argument or some shit. Start throwing.
Yeah,
around.
me and Steph, we can have a 10 argument. It'll be great. We're the loud ones anyway, with the clinky clack.
You start like hitting each other's armor.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I can be helpful.
Wait,
It's
now,
me.
let's do this.
Just
Remember, Zeph, this is all for show, and she tries to channel Keenan as much as she possibly can, but it's very much awkward.
I think that's a good idea. Some quick acting tips before you go do that. Subtlety is key. Less is more. Less is more.
I thought more
Okay.
is more.
No.
Okay, less is
Okay.
more. Less is more.
Straight up, no.
Okay.
Okay, ladies, what are we doing to distract the men? Or women?
Nim literally just starts with something she's like, I saw you looking at my friend in a bad way. That was so mean. And she's goes to push Zephyr a bit, but doesn't want to hurt her, so she's like, don't do that again.
Zephyr kind of looks around and then goes, "Your friend? He's my friend," and then does the same back.
I'm going to be perked up onto some sort of something higher, trying to hide, and just be face palming, oh my god. They have not attended the College of Bards, clearly.
The rest of us have already separated from them.
Yeah, Nim just goes, but I don't know you. He can't be both of our friends. I would know you if I did.
Okay, roll me a deception with disadvantage. Because that is terrible.
Both of us? just-
I would say pick one of you.
Deception. So I have a +2.
Clearly haven't been
I
to
also have a-
whose classic late night Saturday improv class.
Um.
And I won't be going because who hasn't gotten back to me?
Bastard.
Just
Um,
imagining there being like a form on his desk, just like saying like applications for the,
Sign up
thing.
here. It's just a sign.
Who tries to contact Zephyr back, but like too late, and she just hangs up on him.
So which of us do you want
You could roll.
Okay. I will roll. Let's see how this goes. You said with disadvantage, right?
With disadvantage.
Oh, I had a 21, but a 10.
Okay. Yep. There's 2 guards at the main entrance of this warehouse, which is a very large, like heavy reinforced with iron building. There's a couple of windows that have barred iron grates on them. But there's a very large, almost barn door sized door. And there's 2 guards stood outside, and they're just standing there, sort of hands on their swords, talking amongst themselves and then pointing at you, and then one of them laughs. It doesn't seem to have worked in the slightest.
I was like, I don't think we're doing much. We need to change tactics.
Maybe if I like clang my shield against your armor, that'll make noise at least.
Wait, what was it that Keenan said? More is more?
Yes, yeah, that was it. That was definitely it.
Yeah, more is more.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And like Nim like gets a shield off her back and starts like almost like clanging it against both of their armor, like it's kind of like a little like a paddle or something almost. She's like just making as much noise as she possibly can.
God.
You do see part of the massive doors open slightly, and another guard comes out, and they're talking amongst themselves, and they all just seem to be staring in your direction. And then and one of them shrugs, and just no idea what they're up to.
What's the ground like?
It's just dirt mainly.
Is there any mud?
I mean, yes, I would assume so.
Zephyr bends down and picks up a handful of mud and just like smears it on Nim's armor and just says, "I'm sorry."
No, this is a great idea. That's so rude. And she like gets a bit more and like grabs a handful and like throws it in Zephyr's general direction. Like she's not aiming for you at all, but she's like, "This is so gonna work."
Oh my god.
Okay, and we'll pause that and move over to our stealth team. What are we up to?
Oh my god, I can't even think straight after watching that.
I think Pipkin will try and try and get some high ground. Do you have like a vague description of what I could be cat climbing onto or perching up on, or can I just say I go up high? That's also fine.
Probably a
gets high.
nearby house would probably be the
Gets high.
closest one, because obviously most of the trees around here have been used to make the houses.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably the nearest house. So you're a good 60 feet away from the warehouse.
I'll find like a drain pipe. Is that what it's called? To sort of climb up on it. The rough brickwork of a chimney. Use that as climb up it. I lack words. I'm sorry. I'm not
make
English
me
enough for this.
an acrobatic.
Right. That is a 17.
Very easily
Is that
done.
right?
You do a
Yes.
little parkour, little flip.
And then I proceed to crouch onto the roof and perform the hide action.
Fair enough.
Keenan will loop his arm around Persephone and start strolling down like the thoroughfare.
Trying to be sneaky.
Yeah, in plain sight.
Fuck me,
But
okay.
like just strolling, setting the pace that then nothing special is going on here. Is going to say, like, corner of his mouth to her, like, we need to talk. I've got myself in a tricky situation. So just don't react, but we're just going to walk around, but we need to have a conversation. And as we're doing that, he's just going to slowly walk up and around the barn.
Mhm.
But we'll be saying, okay, so you know that thing that we haven't told the other people, the other friends about, the rock. As much as I want to protect you, I wasn't there to keep an eye on you. My mum wants me to take that rock back home. Apparently it's an heirloom or something, and it's really important. And I have a feeling they're going to expect that in return for the herbs for curing Pipkin.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I lied to you.
No. I. To be honest, I understand why you did. Family is important, and despite your quite clear struggle with some of your family, I understand why. But at the same time, did I tell you what I saw?
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I'm not going to complain so long as Callan doesn't get to touch it.
Yeah, that.
But I'm also. I'm not gonna lie. I'm terrified. My God, the Weaver. She's been ignoring me, as it is. But then at the same time, she hasn't given me any guidance with what to do with it.
Guidance.
So maybe we can talk about this when we're not here.
As if on
If we
cue,
Yeah.
manage
as
to
you
capture it in
round
tonight.
the edge of what appears to be a very, it's not fenced, but there is a very clear property line where soft grass mingles with old and flecked mud and dirt. You can see at the position you're standing, as a young dwarven man with dual swords on his hips walks round, sees you guys there, and immediately makes a beeline towards you. And behind him, you can see the sliver of the back area of the warehouse, the loading dock, where you can see a massive load of tall, wide iron crates with small holes every now and then are being lifted with massive chains onto the back of long wagons, essentially, that have 4 or 5 horses attached to them.
Sapphire's gonna swing Keenan's arm like they're just like a romantic couple going for a nice little walk.
Yep.
And she's gonna frown at this guy walking towards them, and her arm's gonna slowly stop swinging, and she's gonna try and feign fear, and she's gonna cuddle up a little bit to Keenan and look at this man.
Keenan is gonna hug her, so that he can put his mouth next to her ear and whisper, "Do you see any other guards around, or is it just this one that's in sight at the moment?"
She shakes her head. I mean, obviously she would look around, but you told us what we could see, and I imagine she'll just shake her head. She doesn't see anyone else. She'll sort of try and feign it off, as in like she's like trying to shake off the fear that she's seen this person walking towards them, like, and then she like holds his arm tight and be like, "Honey, have we walked into a place we're not meant to?"
I don't know. I was paying more attention to the gold specks in your eyes.
Her eyes are entirely gold. That's the way.
But yeah, the guard sort of wanders over. He's like, what can I help?
Sorry,
no, we're fine, thank you.
We're new to town. We were just going for a little stroll together.
Right.
Is this place like out of bounds? Is that the right phrase? Like off limits?
Well, it's just a working
won't
area.
need
You
to
understand? We wouldn't want a lovely couple like you to get hurt.
Oh.
No, of course. And like he's just gonna like start mumbling and like looking around, what could potentially hurt us? That's a bit worrying. I feel kind of safe here.
You see, he
It's
puts
just
a
so
hand
beautiful.
to one of the swords, and then just like cocks an eyebrow.
He
Oh,
can hurt us.
oh.
Honey. It's him.
Oh,
He's
okay.
the danger.
Yeah, I think we should probably move on then. Sorry, sir. I'm gonna kind of like start guiding us away, like continuing our walk, but away from the building. Like we're gonna return back to the tavern.
Okay. Make a perception check during this. One of you,
I don't know if his is better than
or
mine.
both, actually.
Okay.
I got an 18.
Oh, I got a 17.
Good enough. In the brief time that you saw, so you've got the warehouse at the front. Are these guards near the barn door who are currently looking at Zeph and Nim. You guys came around to the side and saw this dwarf sort of round the corner. So for the loading dock, you saw the workers are not adorned in any armor, and they're very thin and pale, and from that distance, only Keenan saw that a couple of them were bruised. Some of the crates obviously are lined iron bars and have some air holes, so I would guess you can figure out what those are.
Yeah.
And in the timing, as you're turning away, another dwarf sort of rounds the corner. So you would guess there's maybe a 10-minute window between each patrol.
Cool.
Okay.
Keenan is gonna lean in to whisper into Persephone's ear again, and say, "I don't think we can wait for this evening. We may need to do the full frontal thing. Now would be a good time to giggle." And then he's gonna like brush his lips against her cheek.
Dun dun dun.
Come on now.
Can you make a
Roll a dex save to see if you land it where it should go.
roll me a
Why?
Keenan, if you
Pieces
can
of
roll
her
me
eyeball.
a perception check, please.
That's a 9.
No worries. You hear a soft thud off to one side. You're guessing in the direction of where the loading bay is. That leaves Calenthar and Pipkin for if you want to do anything else. I think.
Yeah. I'd probably go around the other side, like work away through the shops, just kind of like blending in with the crowd a little bit. See if there's any like windows open on that side of the building at all, or anything like that.
Okay. Are you trying to do that stealthily? Are you trying to avoid being seen?
Yeah, I'm kind of like just trying to, like Assassin's Creed style,
Assassin's
like,
Creed,
blending
yeah.
in,
Yeah.
blending in
Okay.
with
Yeah.
the crowd.
So roll me a stealth check, obviously.
Mhm.
And then either an investigation or perception, whatever one's better for you.
It's a 19
Oh my
for.
god.
Oh
boy.
yeah, easily.
And then investigation.
Must be the wind. Sorry.
Investigation's 10, so not as good.
Not great.
Oh,
I
God.
would say you are now lingering with the edge of the crowd on the other side of the building, but you are not close enough to see any back doors or windows or anything else. So you would have to potentially put yourself out in the open. And if you want to get
have I still
closer.
got a good vantage point of like the front bit where Nim and Zephyr and
Yeah, so
like,
obviously this
the
is all
general-
happening at the same time, and you're watching
Yeah.
a very disgraceful performance, which, to be said, has actually garnered some attention for the wrong reason, in that it's stupid and funny,
Just so bad.
and they're laughing at it.
Okay. In that case, I'll
this
probably
performance is so
still
weird.
like blend in with the crowd, just kind of waiting until I hear back from the others. Just trying to listen in on anything that's going on
Sure.
from where I am.
Oh my god, I keep looking at the chat and I just can't.
It's for the wrong reason, but look, a win's a win.
Fuck's sake. That is funny. That is very funny.
Yeah.
Picking anything else? Because at the moment, you can
Yes,
do a
I'm only on the
perception
roof.
if you want to try and
Yes,
see
I
if
want to
there's
see.
anything.
I want to see if there's any top windows, any back doors I can see from my vantage point. I'll be looking for that, but I'll also be looking out for trouble. That might be subconsciously more what I'm looking out for than escape routes or entry routes.
Okay, yeah, roll me a perception check. I'd say with advantage, because you've actually done something that works.
That's good, because my first one was a 1. Let's see if the second one is a 1. It is not. It's a 19 plus 2 is
Girl.
21.
Yeah.
Damn. I would say in terms of trouble, there's a little bit of tension between some of the mercenaries. Obviously, they just look like they're in it for the coin. They're not in it for the loyalty. There is a hierarchy. You, of course, notice the most obvious one being one of the people at the front is the biggest dwarf, and he has got a whip on that you remember on his hip. So you would assume maybe he might be in charge. Aside from that, not much else in terms of trouble. It's quite a well open area, so a lot of routes that you could run away from. I would say with that high of a roll, alongside the crates that they saw at the back, which you can't see, there's some at the side that look more like cages. And obviously with your context, you would know them as the warg cages. So you know that they're kept outside, or at least most of them. And there are 2 open skylights on the top of the roof.
Right.
That you can see.
Is there a possibility, if we're staying in the style of Assassin's Creed, to go from roof to roof and be on that roof? Or is it too far away? Because I think I was quite far away, you said.
Yeah, so you're 60 feet on
Right.
the nearest house roof. You can actually see Kalanthar in the crowd at the moment. But it's a good 60-foot jump, which I don't think you'd be able to make.
No. All right. I'm going to. I'm going to go round, however I need to. Not necessarily. Well, yes, stealthily, not hidden, but unassuming. To get a view of the warg cages.
Okay. Easily done. I would say at the moment, most of the guards are looking a different way, thanks to Nim and Zephyr. So just a simple stealth check if you want to get, and then tell me how close you want to get, and that will determine the DC.
Let me see.
Failed successfully.
Yes.
Right, I need this one. How long does this last? Okay. Oh, that's really short. Okay. 10 feet.
Within 10 feet, or you just want to move 10 feet?
No, within.
Oh, okay. So you're within 10 feet. There is a patrol. So I would say your DC is going to be set by my dice. Your DC is 16.
I will need a 10 at minimum for that. And I rolled an 18.
Ooh, let's go. So you are, of
So,
course, quite small, and everyone knows halflings
Yes.
go unseen. As you
Yes.
blend in with the crowd, in Calanthar you watch as she just melds out of the crowd, and then just half, not fully crouching, but carefully tiptoeing her way closer and closer.
I just do like the standard, like peering over and just nod in respect.
The warg cages are very well built. You can hear a soft snoring noise. You would take your best guess in the whole time that you've known this that they might be naturally nocturnal. Obviously, doesn't mean that they're asleep always during the day. They can wake up, but you would assume that they are more asleep during the day.
Right.
You see most of them. You're missing 2, and those would be the largest ones. There are no cages here that would house such a large creature. Most of them are sort of medium-sized and below.
Right. When I am within 10 feet, I would like to use prestidigitation to add onto their own odor to obscure their sense of smell some more by really making their own smell more.
Fair enough. You can do that, absolutely. As this sort of wet, damp fur smell.
Yeah, I was trying to make it dark, but unfortunately, I don't have that ability with prestidigitation. I can also warm or chill them. I'm thinking obscuring their sense of scent would be the best option here.
Yeah,
I want to make sure they don't get alerted too quickly. Not on their own, at least.
Yeah, you can tell most of them are asleep, and I will see if they see you, and I'll of course roll a disadvantage because I can't smell anything. Nope, I rolled 2 2s. Didn't even need it, but still, it was great. You have pretty much free reign of this right-hand side for the next 5 minutes. Until the next patrol comes around.
I want to climb inside.
Okay. How are you climbing inside? Would be my guess.
Well, I know of the skylights.
Yeah.
So the right-hand side I have not yet seen, right? Because I was on the other side, or am I wrong?
So you're on the right, they're on the left.
Yes. Are there any additional windows, or is it my best bet to try and climb up?
On this side, there are no additional windows. It's all just straight wood. But you can try and climb up if you want to. I would say there's a couple of crates, maybe, that you would be able to use to help you.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be another acrobatics.
Mm-hmm. 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 Would a unseen servant be able to lift me a little bit higher up?
I mean,
He can perform
rule of
simple
cool,
tasks.
Fuck yeah, why not?
I will cast Unseen Servant. And have them lift me up a little bit. And then acrobatics, I think you said?
Yes, please.
25.
Oh, fuck me. Pipke is fucking nailing this. As Calanthar, you watch as she nimbly jumps 1, 2, can't quite reach the last one as it's like 2 stacked crates, and you watch as she jumps and then is somehow boosted just a little bit, like a double jump, and then just like a side cartwheel onto the roof. Yeah,
Just tilt
you
my
have
head,
free
just
reign to the
How
skylight
does she do
if you
that?
want to. Yeah, you're just watching like, damn.
I'll sort
Taking
of I'll sort of look through the skylight first, assess the situation.
Mm-hmm.
What am
So,
I seeing?
Inside, you can see pretty much what you would expect. There are pens. There's pens. This looks like it used to be used for cattle in some regard, and which it still sort of is. As you can see, massive iron pens have been placed throughout this building. There's a long central corridor leading to the front door, and then out the back. And it looks like they collect them from the cages, walk them to the back, and then load them into, you would guess, those crates. Not that you'd have the context clue, but you'll find that out later. So they'd walk them outside and then do something with them. In that corridor, you can see one sleeping dire warg, so a lot bigger, and then another cage at the other end, so you'd guess the other one is in that cage. Roll me a perception check as well as you're having a look around.
$14.
Okay, 14. Oh, okay. You do see one. So there is one other guard in here who's sort of rough handling a couple of people. You catch glimpses of very small figures moving between towering stacks of lumber and crates. It looks like they've placed a lot of lumber at the front so that if anyone ever looks inside, it will still look like it's just being used as a storeroom. At first, those people look like children, obviously dwarfed by the massive lumber. But the way they move is very familiar for you more than anything, as they are halflings. There are 5 of them, shuffling a very tight cluster, and their wrists are bound with thick iron manacles. They are dressed in very patched woolen clothes with a lot of very light fabrics, a lot of mud and soot, and have very light coloured hair. Their faces are hollow and pale, and their cheeks are sunken. You spy, I would say, probably the one that stands out the most, which is like an elderly woman with streaks of silver and wild, light chestnut hair. I would say from their clothing, they look like farmers, to your best guess.
Do they? Do I recognize any of them straight up?
Not that woman, but I would say you haven't seen the specific features of some of the other ones because you rolled too low.
Are they wearing tartan?
A couple of them are from this distance. I would say you'd be able to tell it.
Is it the same as mine?
It's similar, very similar.
Would I recognize the tartan?
Roll me a history check.
What the fuck, like? Don't roll dice with a cat on your lap. History. I need to see my plus. Oh wow, +0. 14.
Beats it. That is Clan Stoneshade. And you would guess from that context, although you've never met her, that the elderly woman is probably Tamlin, who is the leader of Clan Stoneshade, who are... they hail from a town, or not a town, a village very close to Greenhill.
Right. Using context clues, since Greenhill is a month away and they've rounded up halflings from close to it, I'm assuming shit's hit the fan quicker than I hoped. So
I would say with all of that together, yes. I would not want to alter your roleplay, but I would say that Pipkin has gathered enough insight to know that they might be in this building or have already been sent to somewhere else.
Yep. I will try and lower from the skylight into the building. Are there chains, beams, anything I could hold onto, or is it a straight drop? And if so, what onto?
Let me have a look. I thought you guys would do this at night. There is a beam, but if you were to jump to it, you would have to make a dex save to catch yourself.
I'll take that. Watch me roll a 1. No, I did roll a 6, but I have +6, so 12.
Okay. Kalanthar, you have watched her obviously disappear into the skylight.
Yeah.
I would say you're the closest to hear a soft clanging noise.
Okay.
As Pipkin, you fall into one of the pens with like a distinct like thud onto the ground.
Yeah.
The warg at the end sort of rears its head, turns round. I would say it's not very clever. No, that's a 9. Just assumes you're another prisoner. And the other man who was shuffling those people has continued shuffling them towards the back. As you are. Just seemingly completely fine. But yes, you are inside at the moment.
All right. I don't want to start anything. Let me be clear. I want to be as stealthy as possible. I want to scout everything and do the reconnaissance necessary. Did I get a good feel of the layout of the building? You said it was very open, like there's no separations or anything.
No, there's no
I have a pretty good idea.
No, even the pens themselves are only about 6 foot tall, just the same height as a regular human.
Yes.
And they're completely open topped, which is how you fell into it. They just assume because they're manacled and chained together, then they wouldn't need much more security. And they've got a dire walk, they wouldn't need much more security.
Can I?
Yeah.
I want to kind of map in my head, if I can, from my vantage point, and as well as I can without being detected, walking around. Roughly, how many pens are there? How many people did they have? Anything that stands out to me. Just I want all the info of the inside. Everything.
I will say that you got enough of a look from your vantage point of how it's laid out. If you want to walk about, there is an animal in here that might spot you.
Yeah.
So that if you're outside the pen that you're currently in.
All right. Okay. My next goal would be to find people that I recognize. So let me see. Ooh, let me make myself. Let me not set up for failure. Warehouse, right? They must have a random tarp lying around somewhere that I can wrap myself into, or cloth.
Oh, 100%.
Right. Maybe my own Arisich could probably work as well. I don't know. Some sort of cloth I would like to get under. As comically as this sounds, like to sort of snake over crates to be part of like loose products and loose goods and materials when people aren't looking, to be like staying still. They're looking away, all right, and then I snake further.
I would say, yeah, roll me another stealth check. We'll see how well this goes.
I'd rather not say, actually. It's a 2 plus 6.
Oh,
But
sweet
8.
baby girl.
I would say
It was going so well.
You grab the tarp, you throw it over you, and you clamber up the side of the pen onto a set of crates that's behind it. And as you begin to move, You sort of step through, your foot cracks through part of the rotten wood of this crate, and there's a massive clanking noise, and the warg immediately just turns its head. I'm gonna roll something. Okay. As it begins to snarl, and you watch that drool just begin to drip onto the ground in a very... You've seen this before. As it hunches down, the muscles begin rippling as it slowly moving towards you. There is a sharp, large hand that wraps around your face and pulls you down underneath the tarp and behind the crates in like a tumble.
Oh,
There
Is it
was, of
green?
I know
course,
who that could be.
there was of course one other party member, who was me. Kozar followed, of course, Persephone and Keenan. And the noise you heard was him entering the back door, after pausing just for a minute to knock out one of the dwarves, out of pure frustration. But in doing so, he has hidden him in a crate. He is also now inside with you and has watched your sort of realization of who these people are, and was carefully trying to make his way to you. I will say we will roll next week to find out what happens with the warg. But until then, that is going to be the end of our session today. Obviously, he will be giving you advantage in whatever situation that is. I rolled a 19 and a natural 20.
Nice.
Damn.
Nice.
For the warg. No, I'm
That's
kidding.
my boy.
For the warg. Until then, guys, obviously, we don't have our live stream tomorrow because everyone hates me. And then, that's not true. Everyone's busy. And also, it's Eurovision, isn't it? Is it Eurovision tomorrow?
yeah.
Yes, it
yes.
is Eurovision tomorrow. But we will see you next week on Friday. I'm not sure who's here. Most of us, from what I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Oh no.
You're gonna
Wait,
have to.
how are we gonna do this?
I'll message you about it. We'll message. We'll get
Yes.
we'll get our people together and talk about it.
Yes. My assistant will call yours.
My assistant will call yours. Yeah. But until then, this has been my Wyrdcast. Thank you very much, guys, for joining me, and we will see you again next week. Say goodbye, guys.
Bye, guys.
There it is. See you later.
Eternity's a gift, they say, to never cross the veil. This life I try to savor, and I try to no avail. Curse that mortal brevity which has rent you from my arms. Curse this cold eternity without you to keep me warm. Your never-ending elegy is a ballad with no melody, as empty as I. Now you've passed me by. A blessing, no